The Achilles tendon has three characteristics, one being connects bone to muscle, the next one being proprioception and stability. The origin and insertion of the Achilles tendon is that it forms from the gastrocnemius and soleus muscles and inserts into the calcaneus bone.
The mechanism of injury for an Achilles tendon rupture is pushing off the foot when the knee is extended and usually occurs 1 to 2 inches proximal to the Achilles tendon insertion on the calcaneus. Usually, an individual hears or feels a pop from the distal posterior part of the leg and will complain of being hit or shot in the heel. A positive Thompson test confirms the diagnosis, usually with a noticeable Achilles defect.
There are many ways to repair an Achilles tendon rupture. The most common method is known as the open repair. This starts with an incision made on the back of the leg, starting just above the heel bone. After the surgeon finds the two ends of the ruptured tendon, these ends are then brought together, and these ends are now sewn together using sutures. Plantar flexion is now lined up bilaterally to make sure that he has the same amount of plantar flexion on both sides. Excess sutures are removed from the Achilles tendon rupture and then closed up using stitches or staples. The goals in Phase 1 of the rehab plan are to control swelling and pain, and to protect the repaired tendon.
The patient is instructed to lead with the good leg and swing through with the crutches and the bad leg, putting all the weight on the hands with the elbows slightly flexed.
Progress from 2 crutches to 1 crutch partial weight bearing. Use it on the opposite side of the injured leg and weight bear as tolerated.
In order to perform toe curls, the patient simply flexes and relaxes their toes.
Place a towel under the patient's heel and have them slide their heel through pain-free range of motion, working on knee and hip range of motion.
The goals of Phase 2 is to have no pain or swelling and to start range of motion exercises.
Active plantar and dorsiflexion aid in decreasing swelling around the ankle while increasing range of motion.
The BAPS board is used for increasing range of motion in all planes, while also increasing neuromuscular control of the lower leg. Have the patient touch front to back, side to side, and make full circles, keeping their knees stationary.
Leg raises with the boot on help maintain hamstring and quad strength.
Maintain cardiovascular fitness by riding the stationary bike with a boot on.
The goals of Phase 3 are to achieve full range of motion at the ankle and to start strengthening exercises.
Towel gathering exercises work inversion and eversion and can progress by adding weight on the towel.
4-way TheraBand works on strength of plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, eversion, and inversion. Progress this exercise by changing TheraBand colors and resistance. Progress when the last 3 repetitions no longer challenge the patient.
Bridging on a physio ball maintains core strength. The goals of Phase 4 include regaining strength, endurance, and power, begin stretching the calf muscles, and ultimately returning to play.
Progression of calf raises from bilateral to unilateral and with support to without support.
Balance progression starts from simple to complex by changing stable to unstable surfaces. Eyes open to eyes closed and different stances. Double leg, tangent, single leg. Further progression by adding a catching and reactive element to the exercise.
Start stretching the musculature of the posterior and anterior compartments of the leg to increase flexibility.
Plyometrics are used to increase power in more functional exercises for athletes. Progress from lateral hop into multi-directional jumps, keeping track of the number of foot contacts and ensuring proper recovery time.
Running progression starts after walking and begins with jogging in a single plane, progressing to a figure 8 pattern, and then to a Z cutting pattern. Finally, sprinting can start with short distances.
Add dribbling to make these exercises more sport specific. This also helps increase the athlete's confidence for return to play. Backboard taps can be used to gauge the power and endurance of the athlete. Shooting and layups are additional sports activities that can be used to raise the athlete's skill.
The athlete may be able to return to play after passing functional tests and all other necessary requirements.